One of the major hamburger places won the Greaseless Award here in North Louisiana, so it was just great. But at one point, the purchasing agent said they wanted some money. Every one of them but one restaurant owner wanted a kickback. So I told my salesman, I said, we're out of business. I'm not going to get in bed with a bunch of criminals. So I shut the business down, and they all lost their job. The chemical company that went with them, they're out of business. And I said, God, I don't see anything going on. You said great things would happen with this. And this voice said, how much of my knowledge do you really want? I said, God, you know me. You have saved me. It's been so beautiful and everything. And he said, get rid of everything you acquired before you met me. And I thought I would have injured you if you'd have tried to have took it away from me, because I had the biggest house that ever been built in this part of the country, and I had the two businesses and all, and just going great, plus the rent property. So I had read the story about the rich young ruler, and he asked Jesus, what must he do? And he couldn't do it, and he walked away. But by this time, I hated everything I had. I didn't like the rent business because I had to be mean to people. I didn't like the carpet business, the brick business. I got caught in between picking out colors. So I gladly, in 1988, I started liquidating everything I had ever worked for. And on the 28th day of 1989, I was homeless, very little money, and I was so happy. I mean, I had no problems. I had give all my problems to the Lord, and I didn't have any of the brick problems, the carpet problems, or the rent property problems. So that day, a lady called me that had been using this product in the bass fishing movement. Pat Antley, she run all of the bass tournaments all over the United States for ladies. And she also owns 2 Christmas tree farms here and there, so I'd been swapping her 5 gallons of soap for 3 Christmas trees every year. And she called me up and said, Clayton, I need 5 more gallons of that soap. I know it's not Christmas time. It's over with. But by the way, did you know that stuff will heal skin cancer? She had been washing her boats and her vans, and she noticed all of the skin cancers on her hands from being out in the sun had totally healed. She was the first lady, her and her 92-year-old mother, to ever use it to take a bath. I hadn't. And so she said, what do you think about that? I said, lady, hold the phone. Let me go jump in my tub of it, because I had begun to get skin cancer. I had critical skin problems over in Korea. I don't know what they got on us, but I had 3 distinctive rashes. The service had treated me with something for years. They give up, turned me over to a dermatologist, and he tormented me for 2 years. And I finally went in one day, and I saw him with his sleeves up, and he had the same thing I had, and he admitted that he didn't have anything that would heal it, but he was testing stuff on me. So, of course, you know how long I kept going to him. So when I took my first bath in this, all of that disappeared. Then people began to call me and say, hey, you know, I used it this way, I used it that way. And then at one point, we just had that one green soap. And one day the Spirit of God said, separate some of this. So I separated it. And my son come in and said, what's that, Dad? I said, I don't know. He said, well, what will it do? I said, I don't know. That's God's problem. He told me to separate it. So 4 ladies, 3 men, my son and I was there at the office one day, and I said, look, people, we need a name for something. So I said, let's join hands, and let's ask God to give us a name, like he did on Miracle 2. That was the second miracle that God gave me. The first one, he healed me. The second thing, he gave me the formulation to this. The third thing, I got radically saved. I don't know what the standards are, but that's how it happened to me. So through the whole thing, we joined hands, prayed. God give us that name, neutralizer. I had never said that word in my life as far as I know. But everybody said, well, I don't know, it sounds all right to me, whatever it is. So that's how the neutralizer was born that day. God give us that name. So people said, why don't you make a gel out of it? So God made it possible. I know nothing about chemistry. I just done what he told me. It turned into the most beautiful gel. And you can just use it for sun protection, healing skin cancer, brushing your teeth with it, putting it on your feet, aches and pains. You can just use it for everything, and it's perfect. And God made it possible for us to get a hold of a lotion that we put in the soap so it would be perfect for dry skin people. So then we had the only skin moisturizer that was odorless and greaseless for dry skin people. My right hand almost froze in Korea, and it stayed cracked 365 days of the year since 1953, when I got out of the Marine Corps. And when I started using this, my hand totally healed up. I'll put it up against any teenager's hands now as far as being soft, no cracks, and I do a lot of hard physical labor around here, and they just stay perfect. So then at one point, the Spirit of God said, separate and put this in a container. Part of the soap, part of the neutralizer. So I was looking for a container. God put it in front of me, a ball about the size of a baseball with 209 soft vinyl spikes. I put the combination of material in that air ball. You throw it in your washing machine. You wash your clothes without any chemicals whatsoever. And all of these chemicals they put in washing powder has been tied in with breast cancer, prostate cancer. This has took care of all of that. So we have 6 products that God revealed to me that'll totally change your life, your health. You've got to get out and be a good Samaritan and tell other people about it, because the whole mission in this is to tell people God has done it again. That's the handkerchief, the shadow, the apron, the Jordan River, the spit, the dirt. God's just done it again, and I can't think of a time that it would be more timely now with raging epidemics and pestilence on the land. This builds your immune system up. If you ever bathe and shower with this one time, you'll understand what I'm talking about. This is a revelation from Almighty God. It's the only product that will totally clean your skin up. You have 7 million plus pores on your skin, and they're to eliminate toxins out of our body and animal fat. And I tell people, that bar of soap you got in your hand when you take a bath or shower is the end results of a dead animal. It's made out of lard, grease. So this stops the pores of the skin up to where the body can't detoxify. Then the blood gets poisoned. And when you use this, it cleans the blood up, goes and ministers to every organ on the body, rebuilds it. We've had many people this year cancel their heart bypasses because they got their blood purified with this. And isn't that exciting?
And Clayton, this is wonderful. I love this story. I'm using it also. As Ted said, he's using it, and I can see a total difference in my skin. Mm-hmm. You also have this one product of yours that you take orally, too. Is that correct?
Yes, the neutralizer is the one that God gave me the name for and told me to separate it. And, you know, we have been investigated by every agency in the world, and God knew that I was going to need some legal help years before I knew it. So when the FDA come down on me, and I'm far control if it's fraudulent, if it's hurting people, put it off the market. But if it's from God and is blessing people, keep your hands off of it. So God healed 3 attorneys in this area. One of them raised him from his deathbed, and he's on the tape, Steve Dean. And he come to our defense when they jumped on us, and they found out that there's 3 things no agency regulates in this world. That's God, your